If you're a music creative dreaming of living and working in the UK and you do not know where to start, or if you're feeling overwhelmed with all the loads of information as to how to put in your application for a global talent visa, this video is for you. At the end of this video, you'll be able to put in your application successfully. You'll have all the guidelines required in order to have a perfect documentation. My name is Tarrah. I'm a singer-songwriter based in the UK, and I'm here to walk you through the process. I'm actually basically here to hold your hand and let you know that you can do it. This is a disclaimer. I am not a legal advisor, neither am I an immigration expert. If you require legal advice, please consult a legal advisor, an immigration lawyer, or an expert in the field. And please always go to gov.uk and Arts Council England website for detailed information on what to do. Today, I'm going to be guiding you through the step-by-step process. We're going to refer to gov.uk website. We're also going to look at the Arts Council England website. Stick with me, like I said. Get a pen and a paper so you know exactly what you need to put in a successful application. Come with me. Let's start with the gov.uk website. We'll go on the step-by-step journey. Now, this is an overview of the global talent visa. So if you want to work in the UK as a leader in arts and culture using the global talent route, this is for you. Now, I'm specifically going to center my focus on music creatives, which is what I applied for. I'm not an expert in any other area, and so I'm guiding other music creatives as well to come on this journey with me. With a global talent visa, you can work in the UK if you're a leader or a potential leader, which means that you would be applying on the exceptional leader category or exceptional promise category. For the exceptional talent category, you would have been a leader or a professional in your work for at least 5 years or more. But for the exceptional promise, you should have been in this line of work or contributing positively to the creative arts for at least 3 years. This is the gov.uk website, and we're focusing on arts. So you can apply for a global talent visa without an endorsement if you have won an eligible prize. Now, there's a list of eligible prizes under arts and culture. Good. Now, for the arts and culture, the eligible prizes here are Bessie Outstanding Performer. You can see them: Booker Prize, Brit Award as an international artist, International Female for Brit Award, International Male. You can see the list goes on and on. For the Grammy Awards, Lifetime Achievement Award, Hugo Boss Prize, Artist of the Year, ICMA. When you go to gov.uk, you can see all these awards, and if you find that you've received any of these awards, go ahead and apply directly for your visa, and it will be confirmed, and the assessor will go to the site, the respective website, to confirm that you have won these awards. If they do not find the information they require, they will ask you for evidence. Just give them evidence and you're good to go. So let's go back to the visa applications. Here we are. Combined arts literature overview. You need to be producing work that is published or performed internationally that Arts Council England judges to be outstanding. You also need to prove that people have engaged with your work, for example, through appearances, performances, publications, exhibitions. The work can be what you did on your own or as a member of a group. If you were a guitarist or you produced a song, you just need a confirmation letter from the main artist stating that you contributed to this work. you are part of the team, and that gives you credibility on the work and all of that. So if you're applying as a leader, you need to have been professionally working, like I said, in the last 5 years. You need to have substantial record of work in at least 2 countries. One of the countries can be your country of residence and then another country. As a potential leader, you're likely to be earlier in your career, so usually with at least 3 years of professional experience. So you need to prove you have a developing record of work in at least 1 country. Exceptional talent, the stakes are higher, the bar is set higher. You need to have been recognized in at least 2 countries. So your country of residence and another country. It could be the UK, US, any other country, but internationally basically. And then for potential leader, it can be your country of residence. So the documents you must provide: 3 letters of recommendation that you will need to send in with your application. Each must be 3 sides of an A4 paper or less. Please do not go putting in a very, very long letter of recommendation. It will be refused. You need to follow the guidelines to the letter. Now, up to 10 single pieces of evidence showing your exceptional talent or promise. Each must be 2 sides of an A4 paper or less. So it has to be like 2 pages, if you know what I mean. It cannot go beyond that. In the next set of videos, I'm going to be showing you dummy copies of your document. For this video, we're just going to have an overview so you have a clear understanding of what you're going to do and how you're going to organize your application process. You need a copy of your CV. For my CV, I went to My Perfect CV. That was absolutely easy. I had to specify that I wanted to create a music CV, and it gave me exactly what I want, a template I wanted, and I was able to edit it to my taste. It was so easy. So My Perfect CV, I recommend that. This is not a paid advert, by the way. I just recommend what made it easy for me. That's what I'm recommending. Outline your professional career and education. It must be typed. You must get 2 letters from established organizations that are experts in your field. At least one of these must be based in the UK. So the 3rd letter can be from an established arts and culture organization or a person, but it must be an expert in your field. So you must have worked with the organization or person that writes the letters. So there must be evidence that you've done work with these people that are recommending you. As a music artist, letters of support must be about your work as a music artist. And the letters must be about your global talent application. You cannot use a letter written for another reason. It has to be straight to the point. It must be for this. The people must know that you're applying for a global talent visa. It must be signed by a senior member of the organization. So it cannot be the secretary that is signing for you. It cannot be a lower grade employee signing for you. It must be a senior member of the organization giving you an endorsement letter. Show your achievements in the field and how you are a leader or a potential leader. So it must specifically state in that letter of endorsement that you are a leader, either a leader or a potential leader. It depends on what kind of endorsement you're applying for. It must say how you would benefit from living in the UK. It must also say how you will contribute to the cultural life in the UK. Explain what plans you have for work in the future. So it must tell your story, a journey, where you're coming from, present and future. The letters must be typed and dated. Please listen. A lot of people have had their applications refused because the letters were not dated. You cannot use a letter that had been written a year prior to put in your application. The reason why the letter must be dated is because there's a certain period of time in which the letter is usable. So it must be typed, it must be dated. It must be up to 3 single sides of an A4 paper, excluding the author's credentials and contact details. You have the endorsement letter, the author's biography, either a biography or his credentials. Please do not go putting in the person's LinkedIn profile. You just have a grand refusal. It is your duty to show the assessors the person's credentials. Don't refer them to LinkedIn, please. The credentials will be on a single A4 paper, a separate one, while the letter of endorsement should be up to 3 single sides of the A4 paper. It must be signed. Please listen, it has to be signed by someone on behalf of the organization recommending you. Who is the person? Which is the same person that would have their credentials submitted as well. So they need to know if this person qualifies to endorse you, who this person is, what level of work the person has done, or what level of authority the person has to endorse you. Those are very important details to consider. It must be signed by the author or by someone on behalf of the organization recommending you. It must include a telephone number and an email address and the organization's logo. Please listen, pay attention to all these details. It must have the logo, have the telephone number, have the email address if applicable. I cannot overemphasize this. There are times where the assessors would need to contact the individuals writing the endorsement letters just to confirm that they actually did write these endorsement letters for you. It must come with the author's CV or other proof of their credentials the endorsing body will accept. Okay? So please pay attention to all these details. Other evidence you need to provide, you need to show evidence of at least 2 of the following. The thing is, to be on the safe side, I'll say if you have all these evidence, please give as much evidence as you can. So international media recognition, international prizes, international appearances or exhibitions. So you need to have at least 2 of these. If you do not have media recognition, you should have international prizes or international appearances or exhibitions. Just any of these 2 will do. For international media recognition, give at least 2 examples of your work appearing in reviews. For example, online in a national publication or broadcast. Reviews must be from arts and culture critics in internationally recognized and well-established media outlets. Include the critic's name in the article so their expertise can be verified. If you're applying as a leader, this work must be your own or work you did as a member of a group from at least 2 countries judged to be significant. If you're applying as a potential leader, you must give examples of work from 1 or more countries. It can be your own work you did as a member of a group, or work you did for someone else. Your evidence must include the date of publication, the country where the review is from, a comment on the quality of your work, your name. If you're applying as a potential leader and you're not named in the evidence, you must provide other proof that you were involved in the work. For example, a letter from a senior member of the organization, or someone who is named in the evidence. So if you were a guitarist, a drummer, you contributed to a particular work, you need a cover letter from the artist saying, oh, John Doe contributed to this body of work, and blah 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 blah, detailed evidence that you are part of the project. But like we said before, you don't need to apply for an endorsement if you won an eligible prize. You just go straight and apply for the visa. International appearances, you must give proof that your work has been displayed, sold, or performed internationally at a professional level. It must include the date it happened, the country where it happened, details of what you did, proof you were involved, and all of that. So now let's go to applying for an endorsement. Before that, I wanted to give an overview. You can apply to settle permanently in the UK. 3 years if you're applying as a leader. So after 3 years, you can apply for your indefinite leave to remain. And then as a potential leader, that's exceptional promise category, you can apply after 5 years. So the things you cannot do with a global talent visa: you cannot apply for most benefits for public funds. You cannot work as a sports person. This tells us that we need to apply for an endorsement. We've gone through that already. In applying for the visa, after you've submitted your documents, you usually get your decision within 3 weeks if you're outside the UK. Yippee, excitement for all of you outside the UK. And then 8 weeks if you're inside the UK. You can get a faster decision in when you pay for the faster decision, either priority or super priority. So you can actually apply for the Global Talent Visa at the same time you apply for your endorsement. The total amount it costs for the application fee is £766. You pay £561 when you apply for the endorsement, and then £205 after you've been endorsed, and then you're applying for your visa, so £205 alongside the health surcharge, which is £1,035 per year. So if you're applying for 3 years, you're going to be paying £1,035 times 3, and for 5 years, £1,035 times 5. This is going to be the same with your dependents. If you're married and have children, they pay this amount of money. I believe by now you have an overview of the application process and the documentation required for a successful application. Thank you so much for sticking with me so far. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Thank you, and bye-bye.